Hi, this is the Be Well with Michelle Greenwell podcast. Our heartwarming conversation is designed to lift you on your wellness journey. Grab your cup of tea and enjoy the podcast. Welcome to a special episode of Be Well with Dr. Michelle Greenwell, and I am so excited to have Carolyn Cooper here today, because we're going to just shine a little bit of light on how the holidays are for us and the self-care tips and tools that we like to use to help ourselves get through some of those overindulging times or a little bit less sleep. So let's first find out a little bit about Carolyn before we dive into the tea ritual. Carolyn, do you want to share a little bit about your company and what you do?
I would love to. Thank you, Michelle. And I'm so honored to be here. I love the vibe in this podcast and I love what you stand for. So I'm just honored to be part of this process of being well too. So I'm Carolyn Cooper and I have the honor of leading and guiding business women around the world to learn to honor themselves with mental self-care, heart-centered leadership, and soul-set care. And how I do that is I have a process and a way of thinking that supports people that to truly live their purpose, follow their calling, and be able to have the calm confidence to serve from their highest self within their business position and ignite vitality and vibrance and radiance in doing that.
Beautiful. Awesome. So you live that life and you practice what you offer to others. So what did you put into the smoothie that you brought to the conversation today?
Well, it is something that I honor myself by having. It is this smoothie right here. And it has arugula, half an apple chopped up. It has a little bit of plain yogurt, chia seeds, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, and some collagen powder, some cinnamon, some vanilla, and also frozen blueberries. I love being able to have an infinite amount of energy and abundance when I serve my clients on Zoom. And this really supports me to stay grounded as well as just vibrant. And it just tastes really good.
Awesome. Awesome. So in preparation for the holidays, I chose Huggin' the Holiday Tea, which comes from Cape Breton Tea Company. And I also wanted to bring cinnamon forward. So I'm going to just share a little bit with you. First of all, on the package, I'm just going to lift it up so I can sneak a peek here. So wishing you the love of family and friends with health, prosperity, fun, and adventure for your new year. So as you're looking at the tea, Huggin' the Holidays is all about how we bring exactly what you just talked about forward. And as you're sipping on the tea, you can bring that affirmation into what you're doing. But let's shine a little light first on what this tea is going to mean. So I just wanted to bring in the cinnamon and the cloves. So just hold on. It disappeared. All right. So we have the heat of the cinnamon, which gives us that first opportunity to smell. And I know when the cookies come out of the oven and cinnamon hits you, you feel at home. So it has an opportunity to pull you in and really make you feel like you've been hugged. And then when we add the cloves to it, we have the prosperity, the abundance, and then sincerity that comes with the essence of that herb. So bringing that together in our conversation today about self-care, how we take care of ourselves at times when we are taking care of ourselves by being with family and friends and celebrating, But then also coming back and going, okay, body, I know I might have done a little bit too much in one direction. And cinnamon and cloves is a great way to hone that in and bring it back. So it's lovely that you've got that in your mug for what you have today. And then I have my Polar Express mug because it's always delightful to be able to bring a little bit of that holiday cheer in. So cheers to you. Thank you for being on the podcast today.
It's my pleasure. And I'll have a good little sip, hoping that I don't get chia seeds in my teeth. Let's see. Oh, well, if I do, I do.
Okay, so as we go forward today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what you do to help keep yourself in balance over the holidays. So what's a self-care tool that you use?
I have many. And since I have really, truly been dedicated and committed to that self-care more than I ever have in my life within the last 4 to 5 years, is I have my morning rituals. So I get up in the morning early, 4:30 or 5. I do my journal, 1 page, and I just allow this voice of wisdom to speak to me. And that inspires me to read that information and to set that intentionality for the day. Then I do a video recording of myself in my pajamas on my couch. And then I watch it. And it really supports me to be grounded in these principles and practices that really matter most in life, which is love to me. And then I go, like I did today in the pouring rain. I go on a 5-kilometer jaunt, I call it. It's not a jog or a walk. It's halfway in between. So I do a little jaunt and connect with nature's nourishment. Nature is very sacred to me, and I have little places that I touch the leaves and the trees, and I just really celebrate this opportunity to be 67 years old. I get to live this extraordinary life that I love, and I get to have physical movement and feel so grateful and appreciate that. And then, some mornings I weave in 22 minutes of yoga with Adriene on YouTube. And it just grounds me for the whole day, but also in those times where there's lots of activity. It just seems to ground me so I can move through all of those experiences intentionally and calmly.
Beautiful, beautiful. And when you're out in nature, what way do you feel like you're a part of nature's conversation? Sometimes we kind of go through nature. We don't actually consider how are we part of it.
Every part of it is me. I'm very greedy when it comes to feeling good. I'll warn you now. I feel, I have this opportunity of living in Victoria, BC here, and I have the water. So I get to jaunt all along the water. So every day it's different. Sometimes there's fog on the water. Sometimes it's early in the morning and the sun is just rising. So I take these pictures as I go along, just also to remind myself of those moments in time that just feel sacred, that I appreciate and feel grateful for. And the other thing that happens along there in receiving nature's nourishment is that I pause and I stop. And I have this little bridge in a Japanese garden that I call the bridge of being. So on that bridge, I share with myself a confession and a commitment for that day. So I intentionally create that moment in time. Like today, it was just coming down in buckets of rain. But I really ground myself on what matters most in my life, which is truth, trust, this vision of my life, the value, and celebrating those moments and being present with the sacred nourishment of nature, trees, flowers, leaves, water.
Beautiful, beautiful. I have one ritual that I'd like to share with the audience. This is one that is great for when you haven't had enough sleep. Now you get up at 4:30 and 5 in the morning. So that's an early start. So it must mean an early to bed, which is hard to do on the holidays because everybody else is like going later and then you're still trying to follow through on your rituals. So I'll invite you to just do this with me. So if you'll just pull up on your ears and see if your posture stays in the same place or if it adjusts itself. And did the center of the chest rise when you pulled on your ears?
It did.
Okay. So then we know there's a little bit of movement we can go to find where straight is. So I'm just inviting people to think about that because a lot of times the posture over the holidays goes rounder and smaller and into the couch and lots of cuddly kinds of things under the blankets. So sometimes it's a good reminder, are we at our best, which would be then to be able to open up and get that nice deep breath in. But what I'm going to invite you to do is just rub your ear, and you can go hand opposite to ear, or you can go the same side, whichever you want. And we're just going to unroll the ear from the top to the bottom. And what I want to share with the listeners today is if you're traveling time zones because you're visiting family and friends, then you can rub your ears as you cross those time zones. Think about the new time, and your body will adjust its clock. So jet lag then does not have to interfere with what's happening with all those celebrations. Your body will have already adjusted. All right. This also is a great way to calm the nervous system. So if it has been stressful in your travels to get where you're going, this is a great way to just bring everything back into calmness. So now if we go back to pulling on the ears and see if the posture was where you wanted it to be, and you didn't have to adjust as much. Did that change a little bit for you, Carolyn?
It did. I also love rubbing my ears. I didn't realize that. That's like a miracle cure there. Because, wow, thank you for that. That feels good too.
Yeah, it is so easy,
inside my
right?
body.
In the car, on your way somewhere, or you're on a plane. You get up in the morning and you're not quite feeling 100%, and you're like, uh-oh, I got to go down to breakfast, and the whole family's there and they're all chattering. And you're thinking, I just like my quiet time. This is a great way then to just bring everything back into focus and you're ready to go again. So
beautiful.
Beautiful. Well, Carolyn, thank you so much for sharing some of what you do, the way that you start your day. And I just want to identify for people that we all have these little things that we can do for ourselves, but when we make the commitment to stay there and be present with those ideas, they do help us follow through and they magnify. So every day that you're working at them, they're just stronger and stronger, and the body immediately identifies that you're taking care of it. And it's a great way to be going through your day and going through your weeks, particularly when you want to celebrate. Thank you, Carolyn.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on your podcast. And, I just want to finalize with this is that it's our opportunity to learn these new things, to incorporate new things. Mine grew over time. So it's just taking that one step to honor yourself, to love yourself is life-changing. One single thing can support you. And I just know that the holiday season is all about the love and the meaningful relationships. So I just send that out to all your listeners to really just pause and feel that incredible, meaningful connection with the people that you love in your life.
Perfect. Thank you, Carolyn. And how can people find you?
Well, I have a website. It's called theinspiredconnection.ca. And feel free to pop over to my podcast. It's called Love Inspired Leadership. And I have lots of incredible people that I've had the honor of interviewing as well that have very meaningful stories to tell that I know will impact your life and your leadership. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Be well, everyone. Thank you for listening to Be Well with Dr. Michelle Greenwell. There are a couple of resources I want to just point out. When you go to the website greenwellcenter.com, you'll have a pop-up window. That pop-up gives you the top 8 easy stress releasers that you can use every day. That's something you can put beside your computer, the bathroom mirror, beside the bedside table. A great resource. Also, my YouTube channel. It is full of playlists with all kinds of different ways that you can activate energy and bring vitality into your day. You can find that when you go to YouTube at Michelle Greenwell. And last, if you're a Linktree person, Linktree, linktr.ee/Greenwell Center. That has all my resources in one spot. Those are for intricate little things that you can't get everywhere. And it's a wonderful way for me to be able to share all the different aspects of the kind of work I do. So thank you for listening. Be sure to drink that tea. And if you want to have the tea blend that was shared in the podcast today, then be sure to check out capebretontea.ca. Have a wonderful day.